And now I totally understand why Moon was the only person who answered my tweet, you know? And what happened was, you know, he took the story on his show, and other people had came forward after I came forward, you know, because I had made a book for my therapist, because I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't talk for her and stuff like that. So she told me to make a book. So and put everything in it. So that's what I did. And and that's what I did. So um everything was in the book. It was like half truth and half fiction, because to make a book, I ain't really have nothing to say other than what happened to me, you know. So you had this other guy named Poppy, but everyone knows, if you know me, you know that I don't get along with him. We don't get along at all. Like, we don't even talk. I haven't spoken to him in like 4 years.
Now, Poppy, that's Hassan Campbell, correct?
Yes.
And will he be the person that came out behind you? Or
yeah.
Other people besides you and him?
I had came out on Star's show first, and then he came out, and then other people had came out. 2 people I knew, you know, so they came out to back me up. You know, one of them lives overseas, and the other one, I'm not gonna say where he lives, but I knew both of them.
Right. Okay. Now, let's. I don't want to touch on that too deep, but just a little bit,
yep,
so people can get the backstory. Now, I think at this point, you call him Poppy. Some people know him as Hassan Campbell. He is at this point synonymous with Bambaataa. If you see him, you kind of know his story, and it starts from there. What's the age difference between y'all two?
It has to be maybe like 15 years, 15-year difference, because when I was in the Zulu Nation, he was like a little kid. He was a young kid, maybe like 5, 6 years old or something like that. Go ahead.
Did you know him back then?
No, I didn't know him at all. I didn't know him at all until the whole thing with the moon and stuff like that. The first time that I met him was at the conference that Sonetta and them did. That was the first time that I ever met him.
Okay, that do you believe his story?
I would never take that away from him. I do believe that that something happened to him. Yeah, I do believe it.
So you would say that he's validated in his right out here to fight and spread awareness to the situation, like yourself.
I'll say this, because back then I wasn't really in my right mind, because, you know, like I said, I wasn't taking my pills, and I was on another tip. I was upset. I wasn't myself. So what I could say in his situation, I could say I believe that that something happened with him and Bambaataa, but everything else I cannot I cannot co-sign, because I was not there, and I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon for something that I don't know. But I can definitely say I believe him 100% when he says that Bambaataa did something to him. Everything else that people's talking about, I can't violate. I can't co-sign that, because I wasn't there.
Right. Now, and the only reason I asked you that question is because
I'm glad you asked me that, because I wanted to get that clear.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, the reason I asked you that because you have people that doubt him. You have people that, you know, say, you know, other things other than, you know, despite what he's been telling people. So that's the only reason I asked that, because it gives some validation. Some valid, not even that, not that you was in the room with him or anything like that, but you know, people that been around people know people's character. And
Yeah, I don't know his character because I don't know him.
right. No, I'm talking about Bambado's character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, moving on past that. So, why you and him fell out?
When the story first broke, I had heard him say that he wanted to bust my head to the white meat. And my thing is, how can you say that about another victim? And then it was little white lies. I guess people told him certain things that was not the truth at all. And my thing is, how can you even spread something if you yourself was not there? So that, you know, to me, it's like he was like lying on me. That's how I look at it. I don't care who told him what. You don't put stuff like that on the internet if you don't know, because a lot of that stuff was not true. And I was like, yo, it just seems like he want to be the only one to tell this story. So I was like, you know what? Let me back up. And I let them do what they do. And it just seems like when I stepped off, it just went a circus.
Right. So prior to you coming out, nobody had made no allegations against him?
Publicly, no. I was the first person in the world to put a face in the government name, and told the world what happened to me. You know, and you know, he says
him to come forth.
Huh?
You think that gave him the courage to come forth?
He says that he had put out a videotape that was on Facebook, and it was up there, I think, a couple of minutes or less than an hour, and he took it down. And that was maybe like a couple of months before I went on Star Show. But I have made a book, and this is the book right here, and it's called Impulse, Urges, and Fantasies. And this book came out before Poppy came out and told his story. And this book came out in 2014.
Right. So, just out of curiosity, you said that you got on Twitter and stuff because you wasn't on your meds. Had you been on your meds, would you have came out and told this story, you think?
I'll say this. I would not have came out on Moon Show at all. If I was in my right mind, there's no way in the world, knowing his track record and the things that he say, I would have went on his show. So the answer is no.
Okay. Do you feel like it that if you and Hassan would have worked together, that y'all might have had a better outcome in this situation?
I think if me and him worked together, the thing it would have reached the level that everyone was looking for it to reach. You know, because he had his certain flavor, I had my certain flavor, and I was in politics at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I had all the politicians behind me. But soon as I started playing certain stuff for them from YouTube, like busting my head to the white meat and stuff like that, they told me to separate myself immediately from this story.
Yeah, see, you know, I ain't gonna say he got a weird sense of humor, but his lingo is definitely not gonna come across in the corporate people's in a good way. So I get that. But I would think that if y'all stood together, that y'all would cover more ground.
Yeah, definitely. I would have loved to stay. I would